hours, please press 1. For questions regarding UPS package deliveries, pickups, or tracking information, please press 2. For questions regarding our print services, please press 3. For our fax number and fax pricing, please press 4. For information about our AT&T UVerse returns program, please press 5. For notary information and pricing, please press 6. Press 0 to speak with an associate now.
Please hold while your call is being transferred.
Wish you could clone yourself to take care of all your business details? One of the downsides. That's what this Nick. How can I help you?
Hi Nick, my name is Martin Shkreli. I'm the pharmaceutical entrepreneur that's been in the news.
Okay.
You familiar with me at all?
No, I haven't. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I actually invented the first drug to potentially treat PCAN.
To treat what?
PCAN, pantothenic kinase associated neurodegeneration.
Oh, you're kidding. Uh-huh.
Yeah, so I got a U.S. patent for the drug RE024, which is in clinical trials for the treatment of PCAN.
Yeah.
And I founded a company called Retrophin that's working closely with Dr. Susan Hayflick to move this drug.
Well, it's my understanding they don't work too well together.
Well, they did when I was the CEO, and
I heard that when we went out there about a year and a half ago, and she acted like they parted ways and don't like each other. I don't know anything about it.
It's a shame, as you know, Dr. Hayflick is practically the only researcher on the planet looking for a cure for PCAN. And Retrophin, when I started the company, me, Dr. Vino, and Mark Biestek came up with the first drug ever for PCAN, which replaces the phosphopanothenate that these patients can't make. So it seems like it's going to be a fantastic medicine. Again,
believe me, I've read about it. Now, in Europe, they started the trial, what was it, 8 months ago?
Yep, I remember, in fact, the first patient being dosed. It was one of the happiest days of my life. I took the drug from an idea in my head to a medicine that a human being was taking, and I dealt with FDA taking forever to put the drug into phase 1, and I read about the horrible situation that happened at your store.
Oh, yes.
Well, I'd be happy to replace the missing money and then some, because it's really ludicrous that someone would steal from a collection plate from somebody who's suffering from a fatal illness.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
No, it's my distinct pleasure. I mean, I've been criticized in the media for raising drug prices, but I think some people don't understand that when you have a disease like PCAN or the drug that I raised the price for that treats toxoplasmosis, there's just so few people that have these illnesses that you kind of have to get your money's worth from each patient. Otherwise, there's never going to be a drug. And I'm so sorry to hear that your little girl has PCAN, but the disease, fortunately, biologically, I think is very simple. It's just a vitamin illness.
Right, and I think it's because it's so rare that there's just not been any research done on it.
There's 7,000 diseases like this, and my colleague and I actually just went through them, a big list of them, one by one by one, until we found one that looked like we could treat, and this one was it. I mean, if you can't take vitamin B5, make it phospho B5, we could just give you the phospho B5 so you don't have to make it yourself. And it seemed like such an obvious thing, and when we put it into animals, it cured all the animals. And
now, could you tell me why I can't find any results yet from Europe, from the study, from the trial?
I left the company under strange circumstances, and
I'll tell you what Susan Hayflick tells me. She says this medicine won't work. It's a publicity stunt, and that's why I'm scared. They've contacted me, wanting me to do paperwork for her for the trial, and I've done that and everything. But the problem is that who do you trust in this?
You never know if a drug works. That's why you do the experiment.
Right.
There's been a lot of drugs that people said, "Oh, this is a slam dunk, no problem, it's definitely going to work," and it doesn't work. There's been drugs where there's no chance that'll work, and then what do you know, it works. We designed the drug, as you know, these patients can't transform B5 into phospho B5. That's their only problem in life. They were born without that enzyme. We make the product of that enzyme and deliver it, It's possible. I'm not sure that the drug's going to work either. I mean, I'd put it at a 50-50. But what I would say is that the approach will eventually work. And it may be this molecule, REO24. It may be another molecule. I know that there's another company that's improved my invention, REO24, and made it better. But I think fundamentally, if you replace the underlying defect, in medicine, that makes sense. If you have insulin, you can't make insulin, you give insulin, patient's a lot better. Before insulin, they died. Here, the patient can't make phosphopenothenate, so we designed a phosphopenothenate replacement. It obviously gets a little more technical and tricky, but one of these phosphopenothenates should dock, if you will, well and take well. And it may not be the first one, it may not be the second one, but I'm committed to seeing it through for patients like your daughter. When I left Retrophin, the company sort of cut off a lot of the hand.
What's going on?
What's frustrating is, again, in the media I'm criticized for raising drug prices, but people like Dr. Hayflick, they need funding. They need money. And I was giving her lots of it. And when I left the company cut it off, and they basically said, we're not giving any more handouts. And I said, you can think of it as a handout, or you can think of it as a community that needs to come together and fix this illness. And, if Dr. Hayflick wants some money to do research in pecan, we should give it to her. And the company's new attitude is, unless it's to do research in pecan to help us,
right?
We're not going to do it. And for me, I sort of said, well, you kind of have to do both. And that's what being about the patients is about. And the second I was out of there, they said, no more money unless you're specifically going to help Retrophin. We don't care what you're going to do in pecan unless it's helping Retrophin. And to me, that's the wrong attitude. I think that's...
Yes, and that's probably the same thing that went on with Dr. Hayflick, I would imagine.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I'm specifically relating to Dr. Hayflick because I heard about those discussions, and in such a rare illness, you really have to back the researchers that spent she spent the last 20 years of her life making it easy for me, and it's wrong to just come in and say, oh, well, thanks for doing all that research, but I'm not really going to help you out. I'm just going to take advantage of the research you did. It sort of disgusts me what's happened to Retrophin since I left. I started a new company called Turing Pharmaceuticals, and we've tried to be allies to the research community, and it does cost a lot of money. And when I heard about this scumbag, basically running, you have the video running off with this box. It's nuts.
Right.
So I would love to come down there and personally fill your box up with cash, especially around Christmas time. This is crazy. And just try to make this a good story. And if I see that guy on the street,
well, the good news is they've identified him and they're getting a warrant for it now.
Wow! Congratulations, that's wonderful.
Yes.
Sounds like you're going to get the money back. But I would love to make a much larger donation to help this research come along, and would love to meet you and talk about pecan.
Absolutely. I'd love to speak with you.
And again, you can look me up online. It's Martin Shkreli. I'm the guy who raised that drug price 5,000%. I don't know if you...
Oh, sure, right.
You remember that?
No, I don't.
It was a pretty... in fact, it's a lot like pecan. This disease is called toxoplasmosis encephalitis. Most people don't know what it is. We bought the medicine. It cost pennies, and we made it cost something closer to a rare disease drug. Like a drug for Gaucher disease or Fabry disease, or eventually, if the pecan drug was ever approved, it would cost an arm and a leg, because that's how these rare disease drugs work. They can't really exist without them being very expensive, just because there's so few patients who have it. And we counted maybe 50 pecan patients in America. And I know the Coles. Do you know the Colesroods?
No, I don't. I don't know too many. This phone is beeping, just so you know. If it hangs up, it's not me. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
It must be low on charge. I've met a few families off of Facebook, but that doesn't ring a bell.
The Colesroods have 3 kids with pecan. Three boys. Yep. And
where are they from?
North Dakota. Yep, and I wanted to do everything I can for this illness because I just think it's so gosh darn simple to fix it. Most of the times in drugs, you are really trying to solve a Rubik's cube that's impossible with your eyes. You're solving a Rubik's cube with your eyes closed. It's impossible. But
right.
In this case, it's actually pretty simple. It's rare in medicine that you have that opportunity. There just hasn't been a lot of interest from pharma because there's no money to be made. And for me, I added it up and I said, there's some money to be made here if you make each drug about the average cost of other rare disease drugs. Like there's a new muscular dystrophy drug that's $300,000, and they're going to make a lot of money. But muscular dystrophy is more common than PCAN. It's still uncommon, thank God. You don't want anyone to have any of these illnesses, but you have to, as a business person, say, can I convince my investors this is worth the time? Because I'm going to be spending $30-40 million of their money, and they want it back eventually. And we did that calculation, and we got a lot of people excited about PCAN. We got Retrophin became a $1 billion company, partially because of the excitement of our drug on PCAN. I know Dr. Hayflick, there's some bad blood there because of the way that the company treated her after I left, which is, I think, disgusting. But, the drug does have some promise. Again, unfortunately, I've been in the drug business long enough to know you just never know. And this one's my baby, so I'm a little biased. But even then, you never know. And I know the drug, it was designed at a time when I wasn't as proficient as as I am now in what I'm doing. There's a second version of the drug that is vastly improved. It doesn't get into the brain as much as you would like as a chemist. And I know a guy that made a drug that it's very similar, but it gets into the brain at about 100-fold better efficiency than REO24. But it's possible that the whole idea of just replacing this vitamin B5, phospho B5, could be, it's just not a good idea. I'd be shocked. I'd eat my shoe if.
What do you think about the mineral pathethine?
Oh, pantothenate or pantothenine, yeah.
That you can buy off of Amazon in a powder.
Try it. It can't hurt you. It can't hurt you. It's
actually, her eating has went up a little bit, and her speech, not dramatically, but some. And we're having trouble getting her to eat.
The patients who take O24 improve very slowly, but they improve, which is not the way it normally happens. Normally, unfortunately, as you know, you don't improve at all in this illness.
Right, you get worse.
Yeah, and your girl is beautiful, by the way. Looks happy, looks healthy. And we want her to stay that way.
Absolutely.
And, it breaks my heart, every one of these patients. I fought with the FDA because they want us to do more rat studies to get O24 into people. They let us do it in Europe and South America, but they wouldn't let us do it in America. This disease means more to me, and these patients mean more to me than... And I don't have any financial interest anymore. I'm not gonna make a dime if this drug works, but it was my baby, and I poured a lot of my life into studying this strange, obscure illness, and the fact that somebody just up and ran off with your thing here, unbelievable. And anyway, if you look me up in the media, there's sort of been quite a lot of stuff about me. So
okay, all right.
To take a look at that,
all right.
They call me the Pharma Bro. So.
And how do you spell your last name?
Shkreli.
Yeah, I have you up already.
Yeah.
That might be you. Yeah.
And read carefully. It may not be.
Sure. I know the media.
Yeah, the media.
Politics.
Oh, there you go. Well, some people like me, some people don't like me. But regardless of that, it broke my heart to see this. I'm delighted to hear they caught the guy and they're going to get him. But I'm here for you. Anything you ever need. These patients. I don't know you. I don't know your little girl. But to me, every patient has PCAN as part of my family, and I won't stop until this disease is fixed. And I hope Retrophin. I hope they're doing the trial, so I hope the trial works. Obviously, but I wish they would be a little bit more, friendly to the researchers and families out there.
I'd be honored to meet you, sir.
I would love to as well. You're the real hero. fighting for your daughter, fighting for her life. It's, I'm not married, I don't have kids. It must be one of the hardest things you could possibly do to know.
Yeah. I lost my son, and I can't do it again.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, God.
He had cancer.
Oh, Lord.
19 years old. So, yeah, I can't go through that again.
I am so sorry. Pecan is curable. I really firmly believe that. And she's 4 years old, your daughter?
She's 5.
5.
5.5. So at age 6, it seems like most of these kids develop permanent damage problems. So we're on a race.
It is a race. It is a race. If the drug, what I can tell you about 024 is it's definitely very safe. It can't hurt you. And it's the only game in town right now, as you may know, for human trials. Right. And so I would get in that trial if I could, because we tried to give monkeys and dogs and rats literally as much as they could take in their blood, and we didn't see any side effects because it's so closely related to the vitamin that it's just not gonna hurt you. But if the vitamin prodrug or transform drug doesn't take, it may not help either, and it has to get inside the brain, and this drug was designed in not the best way, such that it doesn't get all in the brain as you would like. But, the 4 or 5 people that have taken it so far all improved, so I'm kind of crossing my fingers. There's one guy who couldn't speak at all, couldn't walk at all those symptoms improved dramatically. It did take a while, but anyway, let's stay in touch. I think if you have my... Well, anyway, this poor guy, you can see the story on my Twitter. He went, he had a collection plate at his UPS store for this illness his daughter has, fatal illness, and unbelievably, some scumbag just grabbed the collection plate and ran. And, it looks like they caught him, which is great. It was the first drug that I ever invented, is for this disease called PCAN. Pantothenic kinase associated neurodegeneration. It's a vitamin processing disorder where pantothenic kinase, which is an enzyme that phosphorylates pantothenate, allowing it to be then conjugated to other moieties, then results in coenzyme A, which the body needs for all kinds of things. It's an acyl carrier if you're a chemist. Just tragic. So I'd like to wring that guy's neck, and then also replenish these lost funds that hopefully they get it back, but they still need more money to research this illness, and just truly tragic. It was a white guy, actually, who looked like a skater type guy, like a punk rocker with the piercings and all kinds of stuff like that. What a scumbag. Kind of want to go down to Indiana just to beat the shit out of him. But, patients like that, they don't care. Patients and families that have illnesses like this, they don't care what the drug costs. You could hear it in his voice. All he cares about is a drug. If there any way to treat this patient, this father, for his dying daughter, any way he can, and let the insurance sort it out. Let that, let the insurance pay for it. Because if your son or daughter was dying, the last thing you'd be worried about is, what's the copay? What's my insurance coverage? Nobody who needs these medicines goes without them. There's too much at stake. It's not about the money. It's the money is required to make the medicine, but it's a lot of people don't understand in rare diseases. It's not like the other pharmaceuticals. There's too much at stake. There's very few alternatives. And, of course, to the patient, it shouldn't cost anything. But that's why to the employer, to the insurance, all that, there has to be some ecosystem of some kind that allows the money to flow. Otherwise, there'll never be drugs for these rare diseases. And you can see there's hundreds of diseases just like the one we're talking about where there is no drug company willing to do it because there's no money unless you charge $500,000 a patient. So, you know, it's a very sad story here with respect to this guy has a store. Let me play a little bit of it for you and you can take a look. Listen to yourself.
A frustrated crime in Mooresville has police now looking for the pair in this video. A man and woman walked into a UPS store, and a man walks out carrying a collection box full of donations to help cure a sick little girl. Naomi Peskovitz spoke with the store owner, who's also that little girl's father.
The moment you walk into this UPS store in Mooresville, you see 5-year-old Amelia. Her pictures are everywhere, along with her story, which is why her dad says whoever took that donation box must have known what they were stealing. 5-year-old Amelia Cragen has a hard time letting go of her dad, Nick.
Who's in charge?
And he lives for her, too.
I'll never quit. Absolutely, without question. No, we're going to cure.
The cure Nick is talking about is for Amelia's very rare neurological disorder called PCAN. The disease can cause problems walking and seeing.
It blocks nutrients and oxygen to part of her brain, and so it's pretty bad stuff.
Because PCAN is so rare, there's little money for research. So Amelia's family, along with the Mooresville community, have raised more than $50,000 to help doctors in Oregon find a cure. Part of that money comes from the collection boxes at Nick's UPS store. But over the weekend, one of those boxes was stolen.
You took a piece of my little girl. That's not good.
Because Nick has several surveillance
Look at the video.
cameras, he
Look at
was
this
able
video.
to get police
Look
video
at this
and
asshole.
pictures of the pair who distracted employees and waited for the room to clear before the man grabbed the box and walked out. Hurt but resilient, Nick shares this message with the thieves.
Now, I hope you get help, because we'll find you, and I hope you can get help to fix whatever's wrong with you. I don't see how anybody could do such a thing.
Nick thinks the box had about $150 inside, every penny designated for PCAN research. But if anything, he says now he'll fight even harder.
We're going to cure my little girl. Yep, absolutely.
Between the two boxes that are normally here, the store collects about $300 every 2 weeks. And Amelia's dad says even though one of those boxes is missing, they hope to collect at least that much or more. John and Andrea?
Naomi, thank you.
And if you recognize the people in that surveillance video, call Mooresville Police.
And if you want to learn more about Amelia's disease and the work being done to find a cure, just go to our website, WT.
So, yeah. That was, Ooh, excuse me. I've had the worst allergies today. So yeah, I don't know if that story breaks your heart or... Hello?
Hey,
Yeah?
we talked to you earlier. I'm still, wait, so you do have a copy of the contract? I'm not even kidding.
I'm sorry, dude. I appreciate the love and everything, but I kind of have to get on with my life.
I'm sorry. I told my friend he doesn't believe me. Can you just say that you have it? I won't bother you again.
Yeah, listen, guy, I gotta run.
Come on, you're killing me.
I don't know you. You want me to?
I'm just a fan.
I appreciate it, the fandom, man, but we ain't friends.
I know.
All right, man. So balance.
All right, fine. I don't need you in my life.
All right, good. Say hello to the bad guy. You want to know what a bad guy looks like? Say hello to the bad guy. In all seriousness, Yeah, it's a very sad, sad set of circumstances there, but a cure would be nice. Trashy, what's up? What's up, baby? What's up? Do I love you? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. You stink. You just took a trip to the litter box, and now you're rubbing it all on me. Ew. You probably didn't even wipe. You're stinky. Is that all you came here to do? Is literally wipe your butt on me and run away? What a bitch. You guys want to hear the Carter 5? You want to hear Detox? What you want to hear? The Wu-Tang? Want to hear Secret Beatles album? What do you want to hear? What you want to hear? Some of this music is up on thoughtpatrol.com if you want to go see that. Shut up, kitty.
We must surely be learning. Still
Ever heard before. It's your boy, Young Shkreli. You guys want to hear me spit? Is that what you want? Is that what you want? You want to hear me murder a beat? Let's find a good beat. Let me see. Timbaland? Nah. Need a decent beat to rap on. Oh, I have this nagging asthma attack. Let's see if I can rap without shortness of breath. Or do you want to hear? Would you rather hear me rap, or would you rather hear some unheard of music? You see, the second I say I'm gonna rap, the viewership just starts to. Man, where my beats at? Let me know what you think of this one. You Shkreli. Oh, it's real. Yes. New album dropping soon. Oh. Check me out, look. Got that asthma. Can't do it. Mixtape is coming soon. Mixtape is coming soon. I just can't. I have some vocals recorded, but I had this crazy asthma attack today. It's bad. this one. Rat-a-tat flow, just machine gun flow. I don't have asthma meds because the prices have gone up too much, so I really do need an inhaler for my allergic asthma. But I went to the store and I just couldn't fucking believe it. Fucking drug fucking companies. Some, you know, I'm allergic to cats. Some days it's worse than others. Got my mixtape on deck. Shut the fuck up. It's gonna sell 1 million copies. And y'all gonna be so jealous. Y'all, you're gonna be hating throughout the whole thing. You're gonna be like, yeah, it's kind of fire, but man, fucking Shkreli. Now he's dominating the rap game. Man. That's what you're gonna be like. So upset. Hating ass. Fuck a hater, though. So yeah, what a terrible story. I mean, you gotta be kind of psychotic to just grab the collection. Raising money for a dying person, and you just say, that's mine. Really sickening. I want to see that guy in the streets. Haven't had much food to eat today. I'm trying to... Gotta get some food right now. Maybe I'll order Chinese. Shut up. Do I love you, Zubu? Do I love you, Trashy? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Oh, yeah, I love you. You like your forehead rubbed? Yes, you do. Yes, you do. I don't know about these crazy people, Trashy, but I love you. I love you. You come jump in my lap. You chilling with your boo. You're the best girlfriend a guy could have, Trashy. You say, this is my man. I'm gonna shit in his lap. Right? Little baby Trashy. There's my baby. There's my baby. Oh, you want some treats? Look what I got. Treats. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's treats time, baby. What? What? We have a treats. Do we have a treat song? Let's see if we got a treat song. Hello?
This is Shkreli?
Yes?
Hi. My name's Jake. I'm in high school, and I'm in a investment club. I was wondering if you wanted to maybe Skype us one time?
Sure. Just text me. I gotta run for now, though.
Okay.
Oh, cool. All right, Josh, you want some treats? My kitty, my kitty. My kitty, my kitty. First things first, I love my kitty. Right? I love my kitty. Come back and wear her for you. Oh, you want tuna now? You want tuna? Beggars can't be choosers, Kitty. You've been eating long enough now. Stop being greedy. What? You want tuna? I know you want tuna, but I can't just give you tuna all the time. I'm not a tuna. I'm not made of tuna. You have these treats though? Can I have these treats though? Treats in these streets. Treats in these streets. You want those treats? Oh, don't be scared. Just a phone. Here's some treats. Trash bag cat. Trashy cat, trashy life. Trashy on everything. Anyone out there smoke weed? Or smoke weeds? I smoke weeds. Smoke. Smock. Smoke wood. Man, I am so hungry. Oh, did I not order? That's fine.